Hello YouTube. So in today's video we're going to talk about something that is really important, first for your overall health and second for your gains, both for your muscle gain, strength gain and for the fat loss as well, and that is insulin sensitivity. So probably you already heard of the word. Basically, the more insulin sensitive you are and the less insulin resistant you are, the better it is. The better it is for your health and the better it is for in terms of optimizing your results, So in today's video, we're going to specifically focus on the results part. I'm going to tell you how you can optimize your insulin sensitivity, therefore optimize one of the most powerful growth pathways that you can exhaust, and that is the insulin growth pathway. And yeah, you could also do that by taking exogenous insulin, but today we're not talking about that. Today we are talking about how to optimize insulin growth pathway naturally and get the most results out from it without taking any exogenous hormones. So first of all, how will optimizing your insulin sensitivity affect your results? Well, simply you'll be able to build more muscle. You'll be able to become stronger. You'll be able to have better performance, both cognitive performance and physical performance. And not to mention, of course, you'll be able to burn more fat, or your fat loss will be greatly enhanced, because simply your body will be partitioning carbohydrates better and your nutrient partitioning will be better. Therefore, your overall results will be much better, So in the off season, you'll be able to gain more muscle and strength with less fat accumulation, and on the diet, it will be easier to lose fat, and you won't be losing as much muscle, or you may even be recomping way better, if you're more insulin sensitive. So let's get into it. How can you naturally optimize your insulin growth pathway or your insulin sensitivity so you can get the most results out of it? So first two things that I'm mentioning today are intermittent fasting and keto diet or low carb diet. Obviously this would greatly improve your insulin sensitivity, but you're not going to do that, and I don't recommend you to do that if you're any kind of bodybuilder, powerlifter, or any other kind of performance athlete. Why? Well, simply because keto diet, intermittent fasting, we all know that all those things are really not optimal for your gain. So yeah, they will greatly improve your insulin sensitivity, but they will hurt your progress other ways, So that's why you want to avoid that, Of course, you can do that if you are not into bodybuilding and you just want to optimize your insulin sensitivity for being healthier. Of course, then sure, go for it. But if you're a bodybuilder that really wants to optimize his results, then probably not the best idea to do intermittent fasting or keto diet. Maybe occasionally, but not like long term, So that's why I just mentioned those things, but we're not going to use them, So first thing that you would want to do is obviously look for your diet, So you don't want to be doing any kind of dirty bulks and eating crappy processed foods and high glycemic index carbohydrates, and all those things that we know will greatly impair insulin sensitivity and contribute to insulin resistance. So what you want to do though, you want to stick to healthy unprocessed foods and mostly stick to low glycemic index carbohydrates for the most of the day. So for example, yes, of course you would want to have high glycemic index carbs like right after the workout, or for example for the intro workout, yes, when you are like super insulin sensitive, not going to hurt you in that time. But for other parts of the day, for example, when you're just like laying on couch and watching TV, you really don't want to be eating like some super high glycemic index carbs that will shoot your insulin through the roof, When you're doing, for example, when you wake up for the breakfast, you don't need to like start your day with rice cakes, but rather maybe make yourself an oatmeal, Oatmeal, we all know it's like slow carbs, it has fiber and all that, so will definitely cause much less of an insulin spike and much less worsening of the insulin sensitivity than rice cakes will do, for example. Then what else can you do besides sticking mostly to high quality and processed foods and low glycemic index carbohydrates nutrition-wise? Well, for example, you can add more fiber to your diet, and also very important, try not to snack all the time. Yes, again, you don't want to be doing intermittent fasting. As I said before, it's not optimal for bodybuilding because of the limiting of the protein synthesis. You don't want to be eating like 1 or 2 meals per day, but again, you don't want to be eating like 10 times per day every 1 hour and stressing your digestive system and spiking your insulin through the roof like every 1 hour, because that greatly contributes to insulin resistance. So rather eat like 4 larger meals spread throughout the day than eat 10 meals and just like snack all the time and not give your digestive system any rest. And also I would limit myself to eating like 10 to 12 hours per day, and I would have at least like 10 hours of not eating. So that is not really intermittent fasting. You're just not stressing your digestive system like 24/7, you know. So definitely don't be waking up in the middle of the night to drink your whey protein shake and spike your insulin with that at 4 a.m. You know, definitely not a good idea if you want to have optimized insulin sensitivity, because you want to give your digestive system a little bit of rest. You want to get those blood glucose levels down, so you are not just like spiking them up all the time and stressing your pancreas and forcing it to release more and more and more insulin, you know. So yeah, those are just like the common things that you can do nutrition wise in order to optimize your insulin sensitivity. And maybe also worth mentioning that adding different kinds of spices to your diet may boost your insulin sensitivity too. So for example, things like garlic, ginger, cinnamon. Cinnamon is great, you know. I add cinnamon to my oats, and I really recommend you to try it. You know, it tastes amazing. It makes your food taste better. Plus, it's really healthy and boosts insulin sensitivity. So try adding more cinnamon to your diet, maybe in your oats, maybe in your yogurts, maybe in whey protein, why not, or your coffee. So just give it a try, you know. Then also, you can try doing carb cycling. So for example, instead of just hammering same amount of carbs every day, especially if you're on a bulk, you know, maybe try adding like 2 low carb days in a week, for example, during the rest days when you don't need that many carbs, you know, and maybe bump up the fats a little bit that day, you know, just so you give your system a little bit of rest from that chronically high diet, you know. So definitely carb cycling will positively affect your insulin sensitivity. And I think that's pretty much it nutrition wise. Then let's move on to exercise. Like, of course, weight training makes you more insulin sensitive, but that you're probably already doing, right? Next thing would be cardio. I don't know, maybe you're not doing it, you know. Many bodybuilders like to skip cardio. So definitely start doing daily cardio. Yes, you heard me right. Daily cardio, even if you're on a bulk. I already have a video on that, why you should be doing cardio every day. So if you're interested, go check it out. Start implementing daily cardio, plus try to do like 8,000 to 12,000 steps on daily basis. You know, walking greatly improves insulin sensitivity, especially the best time to walk is actually after a meal. So for example, you have one heavy meal, instead of just smashing that meal and then going on a couch to watch TV and letting this meal sit in your stomach, rather go for like 10-minute post-meal walk. It will definitely improve both your digestion and your insulin sensitivity. Then of course, sleep and stress. Definitely make sure that you're getting enough sleep, you know, at least try to get those 7 hours per night, because the more sleep you get, the higher quality sleep you get, the more insulin sensitive you are. The more you're sleep deprived, the less sleep you get, the more insulin resistant you are. It's pretty simple like that, you know. Sleep and insulin sensitivity are very tightly correlated, and pretty much same goes with stress, you know. So try not to, I mean, yeah, it's easier said than done, I know. We would need to do like a separate video for that in order to give you some tips on how you can optimize your sleep. Oh, actually, I already have a video on that, so you can go check it out and work on your stress management. But yeah, definitely try to work on your stress management and try not to be stressed all the time, you know, because that definitely is not good for your insulin sensitivity. Then moving on from that, I think we've come to the last point, and those are supplements. Yeah, we definitely have some good supplements that will do pretty good, you know, in optimizing your insulin sensitivity. For example, supplements that you can take on daily basis would be, first, probably the best supplement you can take for the insulin sensitivity are either metformin or berberine. I know metformin is not really a supplement, but actually a prescription medication in most countries, I think. But it is really amazing, you know, it's cheap and it's crazy effective in optimizing your insulin sensitivity. So if you can get it, definitely really worth trying. But if you can get metformin, you can go with berberine. I think it's a little bit less powerful in that regard, but it's still really potent, you know. So definitely start adding berberine to your diet. I take berberine year round, you know. I recommend you to do like 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of berberine per day. I don't think you would need more than that. And yes, you can actually, if you have metformin and berberine, you can combine them together. So for example, if you want to take both, like for example your insulin sensitivity really sucks and you want to actually combine them both together, maybe it would be good to like take 1000 milligrams of metformin paired with 1000 milligrams of berberine, you know. That would definitely get some good job done. And then besides metformin or berberine or both together, you can try playing with some chromium, for example, resveratrol, if I pronounce correctly, and magnesium is actually also a very like common supplement that actually aids in optimizing insulin sensitivity. So yeah, and then again, of course, you have plenty of other supplements that were shown to help with insulin sensitivity, but probably those, what I mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are probably more than enough, you know, so you probably won't need any other. And you also don't need to take all together, you know, all 5, probably you won't need all 5, you know, you can just go with some berberine, for example, and magnesium is always good to have in your supplementation. And then you maybe just play around and you see how it's your insulin sensitivity doing, and maybe if you need more, you add some other supplement or you increase the dose a little bit. If not, then you can decrease the dose a little bit, you know, just like go a little bit by feel and see how your body reacts, you know, because you are not all the same. So I can just give you a recipe, take this many milligrams of that, this many milligrams of that. You can try it a little bit and then you find what works the best for you and your body. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. So to wrap it up on short, stick mostly to high quality and processed foods. Avoid junk food, don't be doing any kinds of dirty bulk, stick mostly to low glycemic carbohydrates for most of the day. Make sure you eat plenty of fiber, you know, so eat those vegetables, implement oatmeal to your diet and stuff like that, you know. Even supplemental fiber may be beneficial if you're not getting it enough from the food. Then restrict your eating window a little bit. So again, no need to do intermittent fasting because you're a bodybuilder and you want to have optimized muscle protein synthesis. But again, you don't need to be eating 24/7. So definitely don't be waking up in the middle of the night to drink shakes and that, you know. But restrict your eating window to like 10 to 12 hours per day. And for the rest of the day, just don't eat and give your system a little bit of rest. Then also try to reduce your meal frequency a little bit. So you eat like 4 to 5 meals spread throughout the day, rather 4 to 5 larger meals than, for example, 9 to 10 little snacks per day, you know. Then try adding spices to your diet, things like ginger, turmeric, garlic, cinnamon, and then also try implementing some carb cycling so you have some low carb days in between. Then what you can do training wise, as we said, weight training, of course, cardio on daily basis, and walk, especially post-meal walks are greatly beneficial, are great for insulin sensitivity. Then, of course, try to get as much sleep as you can, try to stress less, and use the supplements that we just mentioned. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you find my video useful. Like always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to support the channel's growth, and see you in next video.